When the grid fails, it won't get chaotic right away. First, it'll get eerily quiet. No lights, no signals, no cameras. But don't mistake the silence for safety. People won't panic at first. They'll watch. They'll observe you, map your habits, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. And that survival gear you stocked up on, it makes you a target, not a hero. Tools, food, water, anything useful puts a bullseye on your back. What you've prepared to save yourself could end up costing everything. This isn't about fear, it's about survival. If you don't know which of your items scream, "Take me," you're setting yourself up to get robbed or worse. Want to stay ahead of the curve? Hit that subscribe button now, because in today's video, I'm breaking down the 10 survival items that'll instantly make you a target when the lights go out. Don't wait to learn this until it's too late. Let's get started. 1. The silent workhorse, manual juicers and food mashers. In most kitchens, manual juicers or food mashers are often forgotten, left to gather dust until you need to squeeze a lemon or mash some potatoes. But in a world without electricity, this humble, overlooked tool becomes a survival essential. When the power grid fails, leaving blenders, grinders, and even stoves useless, manual tools like these allow you to process food in ways that would otherwise be impossible. Imagine trying to prepare a meal for a sick family member, mash food for a baby, or even make use of soft, perishable fruits and vegetables without power. That's where a manual juicer or food masher shines. It lets you extract liquid from fruits, vegetables, or soaked grains and break down cooked ingredients into smaller, digestible portions with relative ease. The beauty of these tools isn't just in their efficiency, it's in their simplicity. They don't require electricity, fuel, or batteries, and they operate completely silently. In a powerless world, this low-tech ingenuity can quickly become a game changer. While others may struggle to eat dry rice or canned beans straight from the tin, you'll be preparing soft, easy-to-eat meals without much fuss. However, this advantage comes with a hidden risk. In a survival situation, tools like these can make you a target. When people see your ability to prepare food with ease while they struggle, envy can easily turn into desperation. Your manual juicer or food masher will no longer look like a simple kitchen tool. It will look like a lifeline for others who are unprepared. To protect yourself, use these tools discreetly. Don't leave them out in plain sight, and don't let others observe how easily you're processing your food. Share as little as possible about your capabilities, as even well-meaning neighbors can act recklessly in times of crisis. In a world where survival tools are worth their weight in gold, it's often better to keep your quiet workhorse hidden, ready to help you survive unnoticed. 2. The water vault, plastic buckets. When the taps stop running, the challenge isn't just finding clean water, it's storing it. And nothing draws attention faster than a clean, sealed plastic bucket filled with water. In a survival scenario, water is the ultimate currency. While many people focus on filters, purification tablets, or high-tech straws, they often overlook the importance of having a safe place to store water. A simple plastic bucket capable of holding 20 liters or more can become the difference between survival and desperation. When water becomes scarce, those buckets aren't just containers anymore, they're symbols of abundance. Whether you've collected rainwater, filled them from a nearby pump, or rotated your stored drinking water, they broadcast a clear message. You have water, and likely more than others. This perception is where the danger lies. Buckets are easy to spot, easy to carry, and unfortunately easy to steal. A couple of unattended buckets can disappear in the blink of an eye along with your precious water supply. And it doesn't matter if that water is for drinking, cleaning, or even gray water for washing. When people are desperate, any liquid is worth taking. To keep your water storage safe, you need to stay vigilant. Store your buckets indoors, away from prying eyes, and avoid clear or brightly colored containers that stand out. If possible, hide them behind curtains or in unmarked areas to reduce suspicion. Never talk openly about your water setup, even with people you trust. Desperation can cloud judgment and turn friends into competitors. In a crisis, water storage isn't just a resource, it's a responsibility. Protect it with the same care you would a valuable possession, because in a world where water becomes priceless, your buckets could become your greatest liability. 3. The tiny flame, gas lighters. In a powerless world, fire is survival. It's how you cook, boil water, and stay warm. While matches and flint can work, nothing compares to the convenience of a gas lighter. With just a single click, you have an instant, controlled flame ready to use. But that convenience comes at a cost. In a grid-down scenario, lighting a gas lighter isn't just starting a flame. It's announcing to everyone that you have fire. That small click can be as loud as a siren to those nearby, signaling that you have the ability to cook, sanitize water, and possibly even stay warm when others cannot. And fire isn't just a luxury, it's a core survival tool. While others might struggle with damp matches, faulty flint, or inconsistent fire starting techniques, your working lighter becomes a beacon of preparedness. But this small tool can also create big problems. A lighter doesn't just offer fire, it suggests you have additional resources. People might assume you also have fuel, dry wood, a stove, or even food supplies. In a desperate survival scenario, that tiny flame becomes a magnet for envy and danger. What's more, lighters are small, portable, and highly valuable. They can be easily stolen or bartered away, making them a target in a barter economy. Someone might not just take your lighter. They might follow you, hoping to find other supplies you're keeping hidden. To stay safe, be cautious about when and how you use your lighter. Avoid lighting fires in public or where others can easily see or hear you. Use it sparingly and rely on less noticeable fire starting methods such as flint or fire starters when you're in shared spaces. Always keep your lighter securely stored and never leave it unattended. It may be small, but it's one of the most valuable survival tools in your kit, and one that can attract the wrong kind of attention. In a survival situation, fire is life, and a gas lighter is one of the easiest ways to create it. But with that ease comes responsibility. Use it wisely, protect it fiercely, and always keep safety in mind. A single spark can mean the difference between comfort and chaos, so treat your lighter like the vital tool it is. 4. The nighttime shield, mosquito nets. At first glance, a mosquito net might seem like an odd thing to worry about. Who would steal a mosquito net? But that's because most people think short term. In the immediate aftermath of a grid-down scenario, people are focused on food, water, and fuel. But as the days stretch into weeks and the nights grow long and restless, the true value of a mosquito net becomes clear. When the power is out, windows stay open to let in air, and with that comes the relentless buzz of mosquitoes. Sleep becomes a battle, and every bite is a reminder of how vulnerable you are. But for the person with a mosquito net, they're sleeping soundly, free from bites and irritation. Mosquito nets are more than just a comfort item. They're a shield against disease. In a world where medical supplies are scarce or non-existent, every mosquito bite carries the risk of serious illness. Malaria, dengue, and other mosquito-borne diseases become real threats. But the first thing people feel isn't fear, it's frustration. They're scratching all night, losing sleep and growing desperate. And then they notice you. You're not swatting at bugs. You're not tossing and turning. You're sleeping peacefully. Your kids are calm and your household is quiet. That's when envy sets in. The danger of a mosquito net isn't just its function, it's its visibility. Hung in a window, draped over a bed, or strung around a hammock, it's easy to spot from a distance. And once someone sees it, they know two things. You have something they don't, and they want it. Most people don't stockpile mosquito nets. You either have one or you don't. And for those who don't, stealing one becomes the easiest option. Nets are lightweight, silent, and can vanish without a trace, sometimes even while you're asleep under them. To protect yourself, keep your mosquito net out of sight. Don't hang it near open windows or in areas where others can see it. Use darker colored nets that blend into the surroundings rather than bright white ones that catch the eye. And if you have extras, keep them hidden deep in your supplies. In a world where sleep is survival, the person who rests peacefully becomes a target. Don't let your mosquito net turn you into one. 5. The Power Hub, multi-port USB chargers. On an ordinary day, a multi-port USB charger is just a convenient gadget. It lets you charge your phone, power bank, flashlight, and other devices all at once. But in a grid-down scenario, when electricity becomes a rare and precious resource, that same charger becomes a symbol of preparedness and a magnet for trouble. Here's the problem: visibility. In a collapse, most people will be running on whatever charge they had when the power went out. Phones will die, flashlights will dim, and radios will go silent. Now imagine someone walking by and seeing you charging 4 devices at once. That's not just a convenience, it's a red flag. they'll wonder how you're doing it. Do you have a generator, a solar panel, a battery bank? Even if you're using a public power source or a small inverter, they won't care about the details. What they'll care about is that you have more power than they do, and that's where the danger lies. A multi-port charger isn't just a tool, it's a statement. It tells people you are prepared, you thought ahead, you have resources they don't. And in a world where power equals control, that kind of perception can make you a target. What makes this item even riskier is its portability. A multi-port charger is small, easy to pocket, and highly valuable in a barter economy. Someone doesn't need to break into your house to steal it. They just need a moment of distraction. And once it's gone, it's gone. To protect yourself, keep your charging setup private. Don't hang multiple devices off a power strip in plain view. Don't let your windows glow at night with the light of charging gadgets. Charge one device at a time in public and save your full setup for secure private spaces. And most importantly, don't talk about it. In a survival situation, people don't need to see what you have. They just need to hear about it to start asking questions. Power is a symbol of stability, and stability attracts attention. And attention in a collapse is the last thing you want. 6, the resource signal, folding clothes drying racks. A folding clothes drying rack might seem like the most harmless, mundane item in your home, but in a grid-down world where utilities are gone and routines are upended, even the simplest tools can take on new meaning. When the power goes out, washing machines stop working and dryers become useless. Laundry piles up, hygiene deteriorates, and infections start to spread. Clean clothes become a luxury, and the ability to dry them efficiently becomes a sign of resourcefulness. Now imagine someone walking by and seeing your clothes drying neatly on a rack outside. To them, it's not just laundry, it's proof. Proof that you have water, proof that you have soap, proof that your household is still functioning while theirs is falling apart. That kind of proof is dangerous. A drying rack placed in plain view becomes a silent announcement to the neighborhood that you have access to resources. And in a world where desperation is the norm, that kind of announcement can lead to trouble. The rack itself is also a target. Lightweight, collapsible, and multi-purpose, it's a valuable tool in a survival scenario. It can dry clothes, towels, and gear, or even be repurposed for other uses. And because it's so ordinary, people often underestimate its value until it's gone. To stay safe, keep your laundry setup discreet. Use ropes strung in shaded hidden areas or dry clothes indoors if possible. Avoid placing full racks in visible spots like windows, rooftops, or balconies. And if you must use a rack, make it look old and unappealing. Paint it dull colors or leave it partially broken to deter interest. Survival situation, it's not just about staying clean, it's about staying unnoticed. A drying rack might seem like a small thing, but in a world where every resource matters, even the smallest signal can attract the wrong kind of attention. 7, the flicker of luxury, candles and oil lamps. When darkness falls and the grid stays silent, there's something about the flicker of a flame that feels almost magical, like a small pocket of civilization in a world gone wild. Candles and oil lamps don't just provide light, they offer comfort, warmth, and a sense of normalcy. But that soft glow is more than a luxury. It's a signal. In a power outage, a candle burning in the window or a soft lantern glow behind a curtain doesn't go unnoticed. It stands out like a lighthouse in the night, quietly announcing that your home is still functioning while others sit in darkness. Here's where things get risky. Most people don't stock up on candles or lamp oil. When the power fails, flashlights die, batteries drain, and people are left fumbling in the dark. If they see a steady flame coming from your window, they're going to wonder what else you've got. Food, water, supplies. It won't take long before your peaceful glow becomes a magnet for desperate eyes. Even worse, candles and oil lamps are portable, tradable, and incredibly valuable in a barter economy. A single, long-burning candle can be exchanged for food, tools, or medicine. That kind of perceived value increases the risk of theft, especially if you have an obvious stash or regularly use them where others can see. To stay under the radar, keep your lighting as subtle as possible. Use blackout curtains to mask any glow and only light one small source at a time. Stick to low-profile areas inside your home, places that don't face the street or neighboring windows. Choose dark-colored lanterns or plain candle holders that don't draw attention, and always rotate your supply in private. Don't let anyone see your stockpile or how often you're replacing your candles. In a world where the smallest comforts become rare luxuries, a single flame can be a blessing or a burden. Don't let your light become your liability. Use it wisely, guard it fiercely, and remember, in a darkened world, the brightest house is often the first one people target. 8, the hidden gold, bar soap, and hygiene supplies. In a long-term grid-down scenario, hygiene isn't just about feeling fresh, it's about survival. When clean water becomes scarce and disease starts to spread, simple hygiene items like bar soap, toothpaste, razors, and even toilet paper transform from everyday afterthoughts into priceless commodities. But here's the harsh reality. The moment people realize you're staying clean while they reek of sweat, filth, and despair, you become a target. Bar soap might seem like a small item, but it's powerful. It protects against infection, keeps wounds clean, and wards off disease. And when antibiotics are no longer available, prevention becomes your only option. The ability to stay clean becomes the difference between health and illness, between survival and suffering. So when your neighbors see your kids with clean hands or smell the faint scent of lavender on your clothes, they'll know you have what they don't, and they'll want it. In many collapses around the world, hygiene items quickly become black market gold. Bar soap is light, durable, easy to store, and highly tradable. A single bar can fetch a steep price, and that's exactly why your stash of hygiene supplies should be treated like currency, because that's what it becomes when the supply chains break down. Don't leave your supplies in visible bathroom cabinets or near open windows. Don't hang fresh-smelling laundry where others can sniff it. Avoid public hygiene routines, no brushing teeth on the porch or washing your face at the community pump. The more low-key your cleanliness, the better. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to stay healthy without becoming a walking advertisement for what you've got. Also, be strategic about how you use your supplies. Cut soap bars in half. Ration toothpaste. Repurpose gray water for basic washing. Make everything stretch. Because the longer your stash lasts, the longer you stay one step ahead. In a crisis, the person who's clean is often seen as the person still thriving. That's dangerous. So stay clean, but stay invisible. Because in a world rotten with desperation, smelling fresh might just be the deadliest mistake you make. 9, the quiet luxury, sleeping bags and insulated bedding. When temperatures drop, and there's no heat, survival hinges on one simple thing: staying warm. Hypothermia doesn't care about your food stockpile or how much water you've stored. If you can't preserve body heat, especially at night, your chances plummet. And that's why sleeping bags, especially insulated, high-quality ones, are silent luxuries in a grid-down world. But here's the catch. They're also highly visible, highly coveted, and dangerously revealing. While others wrap themselves in damp blankets or layers of clothing, a good sleeping bag means you're warm, comfortable, and relatively safe through the coldest night. That comfort, it becomes a beacon. If someone catches a glimpse of your thermal sleeping bag or sees your family resting peacefully while they shiver through sleepless nights, the contrast creates a dangerous divide. Envy turns into desperation, and desperation into action. Think about how obvious a sleeping bag can be. You're airing it out on your balcony, laying it across a sunny rock, or even just carrying it across your backyard, and someone sees, suddenly it's not just a sleeping bag, it's a symbol, a signal that says we're not suffering like the rest of you. And the problem doesn't end there. Sleeping bags are lightweight, easy to steal, and incredibly valuable in barter. In a trade economy, a good sleeping bag could be worth its weight in food or fuel, and if people know you have more than one, that paints a target squarely on your back. To avoid becoming that target, keep your bedding out of sight. Air it indoors or only when you're absolutely certain no one's watching. Store it in nondescript bags or containers that don't scream survival gear if you're on the move. Never carry it exposed. Wrap it in something that looks like trash or gear no one would bother with. And remember, don't brag. Don't mention how warm you slept. Don't talk about your sleeping system. In a collapse, comfort is rare, and rare things become dangerous to own publicly. In the end, a sleeping bag could be the reason you survive the night or the reason someone tries to take everything from you. Stay warm, yes, but more importantly, stay invisible. 10, the portable pantry, MREs, and freeze-dried food pouches. In a full-blown crisis, food is no longer just nourishment, it's leverage, it's currency, and it's power. And nothing screams prepared and well-fed louder than a neatly packed MRE, meal, ready to eat, or a shiny freeze-dried food pouch. In normal times, They're the kind of thing you throw in a bug-out bag and forget about. But when the shelves are empty and bellies are growling, that crinkly silver packet becomes the most valuable thing you own, and potentially the most dangerous. Here's the cold, hard truth. People can go without a lot, power, comfort, even sleep. But take away food, and you'll see just how quickly society unravels. And if someone sees you tear open an MRE, stir a freeze-dried chili mac, or even just smell warm food in the air, you won't just be noticed, you'll be marked. MREs and long-term food pouches are high-calorie, self-contained, and incredibly shelf-stable. In a world where others are boiling dandelions or gnawing on dry rice, you're eating hearty meals designed for soldiers. That kind of sustenance, real, filling, and often warm, is rare. And when it's rare, it's risky. Even worse, the packaging itself gives you away. The metallic rustle, the colorful labels, the branded names, any of it can attract attention. And once someone knows you have one, they'll assume you have more. People don't just think he had a pouch. They think he has a stash. And that's where things get dangerous. Bartering with MREs, also risky. Sure, you might get something you need in return, but you're also telling the world exactly what you have. And when things get desperate enough, people won't trade anymore. They'll take. To protect yourself, practice stealth eating. Cook or rehydrate food in closed spaces where smells won't drift. Dispose of packaging discreetly. Burn it if you must. Store your pouches in bland containers, not military-style bins that scream survivalist. And never eat in front of others unless you trust them with your life. In a starving world, a pouch of powdered beef stroganoff isn't dinner, it's a declaration. It tells the hungry, the envious, and the ruthless that you've prepared for this. And they'll want what you have. So if you plan to survive on freeze-dried food, do it quietly. Because in a place where everyone's starving, eating well might just cost you everything.